Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today I'm here to show you the pens that I got during last month. So this is the pens from April 2022. We are almost on the end, at the end of May, but I guess my planning and organization is a mess right now. I'm really struggling to have time to make videos. I want to make them, I don't have the time, so sorry about that. They are coming late, but they are still coming. So let me just show you the pens that I got. I showed them before on some unboxings and stuff, but now I will show all the pens that I received. This is nice for me, also for my own organization, because when I need to check how many pens I got during a year and which ones and in which month, I can go back to my videos, and it's just as easy sometimes as looking at the thumbnail or the description, and I know exactly what I got. So this is really important for me too. That's why I'm doing this video, even if it is almost 1 month late. So let's start. The first pen that I got, it's not the first pen, it's not a matter of being the first or not. One of the pens that I got was this one. Let me just change a little bit my lighting setup because there's something wrong here. Okay, I don't know if you can see much of a difference, but I forgot to turn on one of the lights. So this is the first pen, and it has skulls. So this is the Gravitas Pocket in copper. I showed you this pen before, and I think you saw it in a much less oxidated status, like it looks not there on the threads. Now the pen is very oxidated with lots of these dull patina, but I really like it, and I also like the way that the laser engraved patterns get darker than the rest of the metal. So I think this is really pretty. I really like this pen. So this Gravitas is a short pocket pen that it is quite short. It's made of copper. The section is made of steel, and it has a steel number 6 Yovo nib. You have to post it to write it with it comfortably. It is quite heavy, but it works really well. So it has a big nib, which is kind of nice. So this is the first pen, and because I like to show you some comparisons, I brought here the Gravitas. This is an aluminium version, and this color is called olive gray, which is kind of a greenish olive. It has the same number 6 nib, the same kind of section, but it is made of aluminium. It is a nice pen. Also, I got this one first. I'm not sure if I will keep it, not because I don't like it, but I like this one much better. This is amazing. It has been inked since I got it, and I'm really enjoying it. I also brought here the Kaweco Sport because it has same kind of overall shape, but it is longer. It is a longer pen, and it has a smaller nib. This has a number 5 nib, and the Gravitas has a number 6. So there is a difference there. It is a slightly different pen, but I would say that they all go into the same kind of concept. And finally, I have the Sean Design Pocket 6 Copper. And this pen is really nice, also with the same steel Yovo nib made of copper, and it becomes a full-size pen, but this one has to screw into post, and it is very well made. I really enjoy this pen also, and that's it. Now, this is for the comparison with the Gravitas. Now let's see the other pens that I got. Oops, something fell, but no problem. The next pen is this one, the Parker 25. This one is a Parker 25 made of steel with blue finish. I already cleaned the pen and it has this kind of nib. It is a very interesting pen. It has a very well made design, although I don't think it is pretty, but it is very well made. You have this kind of posting where the cap gets flush to the barrel. It is a cartridge converter pen, and it has the proprietary Parker cartridges, and it is a fun pen to use. It writes really well, it's very well made. It's not that pretty, but it was cheap and it was kind of a student's pen. This pen was made in several other finishes. I've showed you comparison when I showed the pen when I bought it, but I just wanted to show you better. You have here a black one that has this black coating, which is also another variation, but there are more variations than this. Because I like to compare pens, as you know, I brought here another pen that reminds me in a way that one, and it is the Parker 105 Flighter. This is a pen that is no longer made. It was made for a short time. It is very beautiful, I think. It has a really nice design, but I would say the kind of nib has a overall similar shape, in my opinion. When you look at these, kind of the nib on this pen is almost the same size and shape than this full metal and nib part all together. So I would say there is something in common with the design of the Parker 105, which is really a nice pen. As usual, I will leave links below to the stores where you can get some of these pens, or or to the reviews if I already made it. I guess I already reviewed this one, the Parker 105. And there is another pen that I find somehow similar because of these flat ends and the kind of a flat clip, which is the Schiffer Targa. And the Schiffer Targa also has kind of a flat clip, although it has this groove in the middle. It has a colored part on the top, on the bottom, but the Parker doesn't. And somehow this one posts very well in a different way. But I would say that these pens are somehow comparable in the way that you would use them. Same kind, not same kind, very different nibs, but both have steel nibs, both have proprietary ink cartridges, this one for the Schiffer, this one for the Parker. So I think this is really a very interesting concept, and I kind of enjoy. I know I can admire the design of it, although I don't love it. I don't think it's beautiful, but it is very well thought and made. Now, let's go to the next one. I'm going to show you 4 pens that I got, but with several comparisons, as I usually like to do. The next one was this Parker Rialto. I already showed it also. These pens were all bought at the same store. This one was bought from Gravitas website. The Parkers were bought in a store that sells used stuff here in Lisbon. So this is a Parker Rialto, which is a fun pen. It has the same kind of shape as a Parker Vector. It has this small nib, which is very similar to the nib you have on the Vector, on the Jotter, and some other models. It was made in several designs. It reminds us of the Vector, as I told you, but design is it is made of metal. It has slight differences, and you have here another version of it that I already had before. And there is another pen that I want to show you, which is not exactly the same, but I think it will go into the same kind of place with the adaptations it had throughout time. So here you have the Parker Inflection, which is a model that my grandmother gave me in Christmas sometime. This one had some problems with the plating, as you can see there. But this pen is really interesting. I really like it. This pen, to me, it is kind of a mix between this concept of the vector or Rialto. You can see you have small groove there, same thing. The nib is bigger on this pen than on that one, but the same kind of concept. So it kind of reminds me, but it is also a mix between this and the Parker 45. So this is a very interesting pen that I like. The arrow clip changed a little bit, but you still have a little ring there, kind of a jewel on top, another ring here. This one doesn't have any ring on the bottom. And when we look at the ring on the bottom, this pen, I think it reminds me, although not perfectly so, because it is a much cheaper pen, it reminds me the Parker dual fold. And I have here a Parker, this is a modern Parker dual fold, this one you can still find it. This one has a large band, so let's forget about this large band. This could be 3 small bands or 2 small bands, or 1 small ring and a larger band. And this pen, I would say, they have the same kind of concept and inspiration. They both are inspired by the vintage Parker dual fold, but they both have arrow clips. They have ring in the middle, ring next to the clip, ring on the bottom. This one has this kind of medallion. This one has that kind of jewel with breather space in between, and they both have this part that was the equivalent to the blind cap of the vintage Parker. This one you can post it, but it doesn't post deep, it goes only over these. And when you post the Rialto, you have the same thing. It doesn't post deep, it goes over that part. It gets almost flush to the barrel when it is over that little black part. So they are very similar in that way. Then you have a very big difference in the style of the nib. But otherwise, to me, they have some inspiration. But this one is a slip fit cap, and this one is a screw fit cap. So, just for comparison, because I think talking about pens is interesting in a pen channel. And now, let's go for the last pen, which is one of my favorite pen models ever, and it is another Parker from the same store, and it is this Parker 45 in blue. Parker 45 is this pen that is very simple. It takes cartridges or converters. It was the first Parker commercial success of a Parker cartridge pen. It has a very long section. It has a cap that goes deep into the section. It goes very deep onto the barrel, and you have here a very good pen to post if you want. You could buy at the time different nib units that you just unscrew this black part. You could unscrew and replace with another one without knowing anything about fountain pens. You didn't have to have any technical knowledge. You just would need to screw in or screw out the nib and replace it. So it was kind of fun. This was a very interesting concept that lasted for many years. I think it was in production for around 47 years. So it was a fun pen to have. Now, this is an older version. It has this kind of blue. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that on camera. It's very hard to show. But I have here another pen, and this one is not a Parker. This one, although it may be, this is a Eversharp Big E. And the Eversharp Big E is a pen that was made by Eversharp, but Eversharp was bought by Parker, and this is where the Parker 45 concept was created. And you can see the pen is quite similar. It doesn't have that ring there, but you have a step in plastic, so the cap goes there like it goes on that place. It doesn't have the arrow clip. It says Parker there on the cap lip. And then you have here this pen. This is very, 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 very similar. The biggest difference is that on the the nib unit, this black collar that goes over the nib and feed is shorter than the one that goes on the Parker 45. So you will have a breather hole showing on the Eversharp but not on the Parker. Otherwise they are very similar. This one has an interesting thing, which is this. Let me try to show you. It has the Parker, I think you can see there the logo, and also if you rotate it this way, let me try to show it to you, it says also Eversharp. So this is a Parker Eversharp converter. It is an interesting one, kind of squeeze converter. I'm thinking about making a video about Parker converters, just for fun. If you think it is useful, please let me know. Then I have here two more Parker 45s just to show you. This is one of the latest models. You can see the kind of blue changed, but overall the pen is exactly the same. Sometimes there were some small differences on the top. These ones are the same, and this is it. They are very, very similar pens. And the last model of the Parker 45, it was available in 4 colors or 3 colors and a flighter version, which means it was all metal. It was this one, which is overall the same pen in every way, in almost every way, as you can see, but this one had 2 small differences. One is the shape of the arrow. I think this one is prettier, but it changed to this one, and there is kind of a jewel that was glued on top of the cap. So it has this difference. And now let me put them all together so I can try to show you. These are the old Parker 45 that I got, the Eversharp Big E, and the 2 more modern Parker 45s, which have more kind of a purplish blue, and this is more real blue color. So these were the 4 pens that I got during the month of April. This month I already got some pens. I think I already showed you the unboxing of the Caveco Sport Chocolate by Fontoplumo, but later I will make a video with the pens I got in May. So this is all for today's video. Sorry for being late, so late in the month, but that's what I could make. I hope you enjoyed. If you like, please comment, like, share, subscribe the channel, and I'll be back soon for more videos. So, see you soon. Bye.